hold me back.
We are back again, influencing the right way with the Viking and, of course, the lovely
Sarah Sloan.
All right. So let's get into the podcast. The big major topic that we want to cover today is, again, shit I fucked up. So really, this will be the second one now. We'll probably do a handful more of talking about mistakes that I have made in business. And hopefully you could take some of the things that I've done and said, oh, I'm not going to do that. Because some of them were pretty painful. And actually, I will say that today's what we did was very painful. Okay. I'll kind of here's what I'd like to do. I think this would be a fun way to do it. I'm going to say what it is, right? Uh-huh. And then you tell me how bad of a fuck up it was, and what it felt like from working on the team, what it felt like from you.
Got it.
You gotta be honest.
Okay, well.
Okay. So here's what we did. I own a chain of retail supplement stores. I knew I always wanted to start a supplement brand and a charity. It was like this thing. I knew I wanted to do these two. And so the retail stores started doing well. They were doing good. And so then I was like, all right, I'm tossing this off to the next person. I'm going to go start this supplement brand and this charity. And again, we talked about this in the last podcast. It wasn't like something blew up and everything was on fire. Mm-hmm. It just constantly feels like what we were doing at the time was just always in panic mode. We're always like, we're not going to make it. I mean, we always made it through. Yeah. But it never felt comfortable. It always felt like we were, ugh.
I think a perfect way to explain this was we were doing 100 things at like 10%.
Yep.
Rather than
one thing at 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Basically, a lot of companies will do this. You'll have like one product or service that you offer, and then you grow by offering some new other product or service. Mine was we own retail supplements stores. So I wanted to create my own brand to sell through those stores and to sell online. I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Duh. But it was just a much bigger project. And we weren't in a place yet that the retail stores were just all like, if I never touched them again, they'd be good to go. Mm-hmm. We just weren't exactly there yet. Okay. So from your perspective, when I went and did that, what did it feel like?
Well, I think this was when I was still the coach of the Scottsdale store, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because you were over here, and that's when you were making the labels and the shirts. Yeah. All that stuff came out. Oh,
yeah, that was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, you're right. And there was, so there was someone above you running kind of peak, right, but still working with me a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then you were still, the actual coach of a store. Yeah. So what did that feel like when I did that?
Well, I don't think I actually remember exactly like during that moment because I was so focused on kind of what I was doing. Yeah. But I think once it came a moment where you looked at me and you're like, all right, you're doing good. What do you want to do next? And I was like, you were like, you could go and be the first one to start franchising Peak. And I was like, cool, but no.
That's not what I want to do.
No, thank you. I don't want to do that. And I was like, I really would like to help with Modern Warrior. It sounds like something I really want to do. And then from there, I actually remember, like, you kind of doing it on your own and me not ready to go over there yet. And so you were doing a lot of things just, like, kind of by yourself, making a ton of decisions by yourself.
That's right.
And then when I came over, I was like, what? Why did you decide?
Yeah.
What is going on? We, like, bought a bunch of things. We got a bunch of apparel, but like we don't need that now. No. Really? I mean,
No, we definitely don't now.
We don't. So we spent a lot of money, and I just remember like feeling like I was excited to start something, but a little bit more like my head was like water was already above my head.
Oh yeah.
And like all these labels you got printed that were all misspelled. Like the ideas, like that's why I think we work really well together is like I notice all those little things, but like the visionary, all these great ideas, like you have that higher critical thinking and you're very visionary. And so I came over, and literally all the things that like I catch through the cracks, I wasn't here. And so I had to deal with all of it.
Yep. So it's funny, man.
I never told you that before.
No, you know what? Actually, this is what I mean. Like these podcasts, we really do. It's like, hey, let's talk about some shit. Like they're not planned like what you think. Asking you about that, it's like I kind of forgot about that whole point of time where it was like there were two. This is actually something also to talk about. There were two phases where I went to like go do Modern Warrior. Mm-hmm. There was the first time where I just like hired people and started setting it up. I was kind of just like creating it. Like we were talking about the labels, the website, whatever.
That, yeah.
And it wasn't like that failed. It was just like, hey, we're going to stop doing this Modern Warrior thing so I can go back and focus on Peak because I needed to help there. And then the next time we came over to do Modern Warrior, I kind of like brought you along to see some of the stuff. And you were like, all the shit was fucked up and like not done right. It was done. It looked good, but it wasn't like done.
I'm being very picky, you know.
No, but it was right. You know, they were like the directions on how to take something would be wrong. It would say like 2 pills when it was supposed to be 3 or something, which is a big enough thing that it's like, oh fuck, we can't even use this. You know, it was a nightmare. So that, you know what? There was the first time. There was that second time.
This is the last,
and then you went back. We both went back again to Peak to work on it. And then I went to go do Modern Warrior again, but like just to create like the sales thing by myself, like to create like the scripts and, you know, the leads and our marketing and advertising. And I worked on all that and created all of it. And then again, I was like, oh, I'm going to go back to Peak Nutrition because I need to help and go work with that or whatever.
Yeah, it was just a cycle of.
So this is the fourth iteration now of doing Modern Warrior. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't.
But now I finally have a team over
here. Yeah, you do. It's a real company. It's a real company really doing things. So anyway, to explain and put all of that together is the reason why we're doing this podcast is what can you learn from it, right? There's a dichotomy here, which is like nothing is ever really done. You know what I mean? Like you can't be a perfectionist. Like ours, what we keep talking about is the retail stores and then our online business.
Yeah.
And like the retail stores are never going to be done. They're not done growing. You always open more. You always hire new employees, whatever. But in a business, are you to the place where you know that it has now become a life of its own? If you completely stepped away for a year and nobody could even talk to you, could the people there run and manage and grow it and hire new people and come out with new products? Could they facilitate it entirely without you? Maybe they wouldn't be able to do it 100%, but like they could grow and they could make it good without you, right? That is when you finally know like, hey, I can go, you know,
do this next visionary thing that I've been wanting to do.
Start this other thing.
Yeah,
right?
I think a great way, especially if you're in sales or a trainer who, I mean, that's still sales at the end of the day, is if you have enough, like you've been able to create enough raving fans. We call it raving fans, but it's basically like loyal customers. Yeah. And then you taught someone else how to do that to where they could continue to grow by just helping and creating more loyalists.
Yep.
Then you're good to go.
Then you're good. Yeah. But this is somebody who like starts a company. You are a kind of person who likes starting a company. So then you're always excited about starting the next company. And what's funny is I have been told this by many people, but it's still in my head. It seemed right. I had convinced myself that I was doing the right thing every time I fucking did it. But that is, again, another good point about why having a solid team to work with you that can give you feedback and stuff will keep you from making errors like that. Or hopefully listening to this and not fucking doing that, right? Okay. Do you have anything else that you were thinking? I want to hear from you, like other shit that I might have fucked up by going too quick.
I think it was a good balance because I don't want to say too quick as in like if you didn't do that stuff then like we wouldn't be here where we are right now, you know what I mean? So it's like you still have to be ambitious enough to like go start things. So it's like it just depends on the personality type you have. Being able to like really analyze yourself. Am I the type of person that like always wants to start the next big thing, then you probably should wait a little bit longer until you know that like the thing that you are doing right now is finished. Maybe not perfect, but replicable to where you don't have to actually put your hands on the operations every single day.
Yep.
And then also if maybe you're the opposite and you like doing one thing and maybe that's when you need to actually move on a little bit more. But knowing you are the one to focus on. Yeah,
so this is actually like the good, you know what? So we're talking about shit I fucked up, but everything that you mess up is also like, is the opposite of your side of your strengths, right? So you kind of said it there, and I'm going to give myself this one little like gold star, is that we have grown a lot, but that's because I'm so risk averse, right? I don't really care about risk. Like I'm willing to like, let's go all in, put 100 on black. Let's fucking go, motherfucker. Like that has allowed us to grow at times when we were ready.
Yeah.
But it also has held us back at times when we weren't ready. And so you got to know how to play that the right way. Exactly like what you said.
Yeah. Especially so the second time I really was going over to Modern Warrior, was trying to start up that thing. That was a little bit frustrating because I felt as though there was so much stuff to do, but we weren't at the spot where I could hire people to do it with me.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew we really started the thing way too early.
Yep.
Like I started it and it was just me doing it and
it fell on its face.
Yeah.
So you got to have a team of people that work together.
Yeah.
Takes a village.
If you also are looking to expand, it's like, can you expand in terms of the people that are doing that job and the amount of people you can reach? Or is it like you just by yourself doing something, hoping that it goes somewhere?
Absolutely. All right. That is the podcast, guys. Hopefully you got something out of some of my mistakes. We are here trying to raise the standard of the fitness industry. If you know somebody that could get something out of this podcast, they're a person who tries to grow too fucking quick and do too much.
Or you got to tell them, hey, grow on, do it.
Go, get up there. Send this to them. Let them learn from it so that way we can all raise our standard. All right. Thank you, guys. We will see you next time.